Lutz, and welcome to the Frontlines. In the battle against the deep state, the cabal, the Illuminonkeys, and all those that wish to enslave all of humanity for their own selfish reasons. And they are selfish. Very, very selfish. Not wanting to share at all. Really, I mean, they've had so many opportunities to share, and they don't do it, right? They just want everything for themselves. And their time is over. And this may be, the time where the storm is upon us. We have seen a lot of things happening all at once, evidence coming out. And what is said to be happening now is there's a lot of stuff it's going to be a tidal wave, a D5 avalanche of information coming our way, all to really not just sweep the elections for Trump, but to sweep the rest of those people out of power. And so we'll go into some of that. We're going to go over our 17 NES type of posts that we'll go through that as well. And also I'll discuss a little. We were doing, I just came from an assembly meeting a little while ago that I took care of a couple things. So also decided to join the San Diego assembly because it's closer to home, so to speak. My daughter lives there. I spend a lot of time in San Diego as well. So we'll get into all of that. And first, I'd also like to thank, I did receive a donation yesterday, because this program is brought to you by your donations to me. This is what keeps me going. Literally, I have no other way of creating a flow of money at this time, since COVID kind of sidelined everything I was doing. Hopefully that's starting up again. I'll find out again. My other project is starting up. Maybe we get an agreement in place today. Well, it's very close, but we'll find out. Always seems to be one more thing to push it off a little bit, but that's okay. Getting there. But as I said, the donation link is down below. If you like to help out, I would appreciate it. Small donations, large donations, all are welcome. There's a Life Force link also down below for if you'd like to also contribute to Life Force. Yesterday I asked that you contribute directly to Life Force. Don't worry about me, because they had put out a request. So if you'd like to do that, please, that information is down below. I did receive one donation yesterday. Thank you very much. It came in the form of pesos, which is okay. But if you're able to send in USD, that is also a way that works. The reason why I say you can send in pesos, but PayPal charges you to convert. And so less comes in. It's not a really big difference, but if there is an option, send in USD. If not, that is okay. I accept it any which way and allow PayPal to take their larger cut. Okay. That being said, let's kind of move on. Let's see where we're sitting here. Okay, we've got 10 viewers on right now. So we've got someone in our one person in the chat group. Oh, I didn't say my traditional good moments. For those who wonder why I say good moments, it's because good morning is part of the death culture, right? Strangely enough, I never thought of that. Well, morning just means that time of the day. You could, there's dawn. You could say good dawn. But since I was always dealing with different time zones, it was always talking about the good moment. So that's why I use good moments. Usually instead of good morning, I could say good dawn to you. But all the other, death references, mortgage, for example. Another death term. I have so many death terms sprinkled throughout the our language, we don't even notice it, right? It doesn't dawn on us that that's what it's talking about. So anyway, that's why I say good moment to you. All right, so let's see. Let's see what to go over first. Okay, well, let's talk about the most important thing, and that is the time that we are in. The moment that we're in is high energy, a lot of things happening. So this is the scuttlebutt. We are to look out and see if Trump sends out a tweet, something along the lines, "The storm is upon us." It is now word that Trump is now going to be quarantined, right? He's going to be quarantined because someone in the White House has tested positive. So I would say this is also good cover, right? To basically put him out of harm's way, right? If he's not out doing rallies and those kind of things, this is one way to do it. So let's see where that goes with the quarantine. What does that look like? Does it look like he's on Air Force One in quarantine? It's one way to be. Just flying up there, hard to get him at that point, right? So what else? So now again, this is just a scuttlebutt, right? This is the chit chat going on. So let's see where it goes. So we know that there has been Kevin Clinesmith that came out and pled guilty, right, to bad doings, right? He changed the email that said that Carter Page did not work for the CIA, right? The CIA emailed back and said yes, he's one of our assets, and he changed to say no, we don't know him. So this gave the ability for them to now spy on Carter Page. Now Carter Page is out there and talking about this now as well, but so Kevin Clinesmith pled guilty. What's supposed to be happening now is everyone looking for the arrests, right? Let's say that the arrests don't happen right now, but what if there is an avalanche of people saying, yes, guilty as charged, I cop a plea, I'm going to make a bargain, I'm going to turn over the guy on top of me. And what if that starts rolling out? What if there's a D5 avalanche of people saying, I'm guilty, this is what I did? All right, that's one thing. Another, what if there's a lot of pedo confessions? What if they start coming out and saying, yes, I did these horrible things? And that's, again, we know this is the narrative that brings the world together, is to find these people that have been harming our children and bring the world together to fight them, recognizing that they are the same part of the same deep space apparatus. That is the connection we're starting to see, right? What happened with Hunter Biden? Was he just now tied into human trafficking? Amazing how that happened right now. So this is now, also tying him into Russian collusion, obviously, right? So again, this ties right back to Hillary. So Hillary's now evidence against Hillary, Russian collusion of Hillary. Uranium One, Kosovo being the Silicon Valley of Russia, technology park that they were doing, the land owned by the former mayor's wife of Moscow, the one that gave $3 million to Hunter Biden. And all this technology transfer to Russia, while Hillary oversaw it and actually promoted Skolkovo Technology Park, the Silicon Valley of Russia. So who's the Russian collusion with? Hillary. So this is all starting to roll down the hill. It's going to gather. We're going to have such a giant amount of avalanche coming down. It's just starting. So what else is the scuttlebutt? Well, we've been hearing power outages, internet outages. There's now a Twitter trap laid by Twitter for a particular a particular video of our Jeffrey that was suddenly killed in prison, for hung himself, with a piece of toilet paper, and the video of him being in of that actual event of him killing himself, the cam footage from the security camera being now pushed through Twitter. If you basically retweet that, you get banned. Your account goes down. How can they identify all these people at once? Because this is something that's going to go like, don't do it. Don't watch it. Don't need to see it, right? What good does it do, right? No rubbernecking needed, right? We already know what happened there. You don't need to see cam footage. You don't even know if it's real cam footage or not cam. It doesn't matter. Don't retweet it. Right? If that pops up anywhere, Facebook, YouTube, don't look at it. Don't forward it. Don't share it. Leave that alone. It's a trap. So, internet outages, power outages. I just talking to my daughter. Did you get a generator yet? No. Well, we went to Home Depot and they didn't have any. They were all out of stock. Go to Craigslist. So I went to Craigslist for her. I said, here you go, here you go, here you go. They're all within a certain area near her. Have some, what size? Well, you got to figure out what you want to run. Refrigerator. You want to run your refrigerator, right? That's 200 watts an hour. 1200 watts to get started. 1200 watts an hour usage. So if you get a 400 watt generator, you can't run much else, and you can't even start it. Well, maybe you can start it. Yeah. But, so just think about that, right? How much you need? 3,000 watts, 4,000 watts. Just think about that. Then you remember it needs fuel. There's different types of fuel. There's diesel, gasoline, propane, and there's even solar. You could buy solar setup to do it for you need a couple hundred watts of power to run something. You can get something like that done for $1,000. But if you needed a whole house, then it's quite a bit more, right? You've got a whole solar package there. So the other thing, food. Remember, you don't have a refrigerator, you don't have power. Anything in your refrigerator is not going to be good after 3 days. That's it. No matter what, don't open the door. Don't, open and close it really quickly. I mean, how many hours will you be able to do that before the temperature gets high enough to where food starts to spoil? It won't take long, right? So keep that in mind. You're not going to be able to keep things very long unless you have some sort of way of generating that power. Okay. What else? Well, we have the other problems, rioting. Right? We have the people that are, the paid Antifa supporters that are out there trying to start a riot, trying to start a civil war. This is what is set to go off. Can it be avoided? Sure. But if you start, becoming vigilante about it, you play right into their playbook. That's the problem. This is orchestrated as you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. Of course, you need to protect your home. You need to protect yourself if you get into a situation. I'm not talking about that. We're really talking about, okay, I'm done with this. We're going after these guys. You got to let that set that aside, because that's what they want, right? In the end, they don't care who dies, which side. They don't. The deep state. This is cannon fodder. Right? These are the troops on the front line that you send out. You know that the cannons are going to blow them up as they go, but a few will make it through, and they'll do some damage on your side, and we'll send the next wave, and then the next wave, and we get 1% through, then 5% through, then 10% through, and eventually we overrun the lines. They don't care, right, how many people on either side dies, because it doesn't matter to them. What matters is that there's a fight, that they can now claim, oh, we have to suppress this. On top of removing Trump as president, right? Because they need to have him appear non-legitimate, right? So voting may be a problem for them. So now we also just heard that the voting machines, the keys for the voting machines on laptop systems were stolen, right? Oops, it's okay. Don't worry. Doesn't matter if they can try and overcome the vote that way. Doesn't matter. Right, so of course it matters, but this is what they're saying. I was just watching Black Conservative Patriot, and he was talking about that. What was the name of this video? I'm sorry, I already shut it down. Trying to save memory space, but that is something you go check out. Black Conservative Patriot, and see what's there. Okay. All right. So we got to be prepared. Do what you can. Do it now. This is the place where we're at right now. This is Red October. The hunt for Red October. This information is coming on a daily basis. It is a flood. I can't even cover all of it. Actually, I got into a conversation with someone yesterday. I was just trying to explain about. These are business professionals, right? I'm telling them things they're completely out of the loop on the financial side of things. And I'm telling them that the Treasury Department's made special purpose vehicles and they're buying up all the debt, right? And he was out. I said, no, it's not happening. What do you mean it's not happening? I've got several articles I can send you, right? So I've come up with 6 different articles. So I did all this. Now I'd covered this on a video before, actually a couple times. But people are just not aware. These are business people in business about money, right? This is what they do, and they've not heard any of this. I said, the fiat money system, the debt-based money is going away. It's impossible. This is the thinking, right? They can't comprehend because it's just not on their radar. Who can look beyond that? Now you've talked about the Federal Reserve and it being owned by private bankers. Some of them are aware enough to say that that's real, right? That it's basically owned by private individuals, but it's controlled by the government. I said, well, yes, now since the CARE Act went into place and Trump is using the Defense Production Act, now it's in Trump's control, but before that it wasn't, and look what he's done. Here's the article: special purpose vehicles set up. The Fed is going to back every purchase that they make. What are they buying? Debt, mortgages, stocks, bonds. I tell them it's 1.2 billion an hour they're buying up. I said they'll own 50% of all debt, by the end of the year. How can they comprehend it, right? It's so vast an idea. I said, but here it is. They're saying it. It's laid out for you, right? But still, denial. I mean, that's it's always the case. You first deny it. So that's why I had to get the articles and send them on. So we'll see where that goes. Okay, well, let's see. Let's us go into. Oops, there we go. There's our 17 NES posts. So look what's on the top right here. So 47.97. We kind of didn't finish for the day. September 30th is what we were on, and still September 30th in this particular post. So James Comey's daughter, right, inspected missing Epstein suicide footage. So this is the footage that we're talking about, right? So 17, Comey's daughter investigated Epstein's suicide, and her husband does Janelle Maxwell's case. No conflict of interest, right? Of course, I say sarcastically. Do you believe in coincidences? No, I do not. No, I do not believe in coincidences. All right, let's move on to the next here. So 4798, Anonymous is posting. Facebook says, as part of its recent crackdown on 17 NES and militia movements, it has removed 6,500 groups belonging to 300 organizations. Okay, so, and he goes on here, and so 17 is saying, so Facebook says it's part of its recent crackdown on 17 NES and militia movements. It has removed 6,500 groups belonging to 300 organizations. So this is Carissa Bell Engadget. Okay. So Isaac Novolt. So here's an article I guess we're pointing to. This is a upnews.info. And it's just about information warfare. So let's go take a look and see where the front line is today on the information warfare front. Okay, let me turn off my ad blocker. You know, I found out that I can, you know, also go back in and turn things back on after I make it through their gateway. So what are we saying here? It's still loading, so I'll give it some time here. Must be a lot of people accessing it, right? It's always so slow. I'll just try this other button. Well, that's not much to this, is there? No reason in actually going here. All right. Sometimes that happens. Okay. Let's continue here. Okay, so 4799, Anonymous is posting, rebuffed by Vatican. Pompeo assails China and aligns with the Pope's critics. Okay, so rebuffs Vatican. Pompeo assails China and aligns with Pope's critics. Pope Francis declined to see Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, who is demanding a harder Vatican line on China. The Holy See said, so just first, just think about this. Secretary of State Pompeo goes there, and then the Pope denies seeing him. Do they seem to have a bit of a problem? Is that really, you know, let's say the statesman thing to do is not allow Pompeo to visit with the Pope? Must be something going on. The Holy See said meeting just before a U.S. election could be inappropriate. Why? Why is that? They don't want. Why don't they want to talk? So this says Rome, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo recently published a sharp letter excoriating the Vatican's plans to renew an agreement with the Chinese government on church operations in China. Well, they don't want to have to answer these questions. That's why they don't want to meet. He promotes this article as a tweet, concluding the Vatican endangers its moral authority. Right? Yeah, they don't want to have a conversation about their moral authority being questioned. Should renew the deal. Should they renew the deal? So, an indignant Vatican took an article more as a calculated affront than a diplomatic gesture, and the fiction broke into open on Wednesday when Mike Pompeo arrived in Rome and met with prelates and others who are hostile to Pope Francis, while the Vatican denied him meeting with the pontiff and rebuffs his efforts to derail the deal with China. Pompeo asked to meet the Pope, who turned him down because Francis had clearly said that he does not receive political figures ahead of elections. Cardinal Pietro Parolin, who is Secretary of State, is the Vatican's second-ranking official, told Reporter. But to some observers on both sides of the tensions between the Roman Catholic Church and Trump administration, Mike Pompeo's visit is much about the coming presidential election as about the China policy. Mr. Pompeo dismissed the suggestion as absurd, but intends not or not. His trip signals that President Trump is on the side of those conservative American Catholics who worry about the church direction under Francis. He thinks he is soft on China. Francis and Mr. Trump, who have exchanged sharp words in the past, present starkly different versions of the issues, ranging from environmental to immigration to the threat of populism, and appeal to the Vatican's support for the religious freedom as a reason to drop its China agreement. Mr. Pompeo seemed to seek common ground, but in a way that upset the Pope's chief allies and delighted his chief critics. Cardinal Parolin said that Mr. Pompeo's article had caused surprise at the Vatican because this visit to Rome by the Secretary and meetings with the high officials at the Holy See had already been in the works and would have been a more opportune forum for airing grievances. He added that Mr. Pompeo's choice to publish in First Thing is a conservative Christ magazine that calls for Francis as a failure as a pope also mattered. There's a New York Times article. Okay, so what is 17 NES saying? When does a church become a playground, a business, political, corrupt, woefully blind? When does a church become controlled? I wonder if it's a pedo problem. All right, let's go next. So 4,800. October 1st is the first of the day, so the hunt is on. This is Red October. We're in it. Okay, next, 4801. Steve Scully, moderator in a second presidential debate. While attending college, he served as an intern in the office of Delaware Senator Joseph R. Biden. Yeah, is that a rigged system? I would say that's pretty rigged. You have Joe Biden's protege, right, being the moderator for the next debate. Kind of strange, right? How can they let that happen? All right, so we don't really need to dig into that. That's standard, garbage. So that's not really fair playground for Trump to be on, right? All right, next, 4802. Spy campaign failed. Russia failed. Weissman, Mueller failed. Leaks failed. Fake news report failed. Impeachment failed. CDC WHO recommended do not close border failed. What if C-19 didn't exist? Economy today. Unemployment today. trade today. China phase 2 held accountable. Rally, POTUS versus Biden attendance. Biden interviews non-basement. Biden questions non-basement. Removal of delays. RE Durham plus interviews, testimony, D-class. Removal of Biden's ammunition presidential debate. 1, 2, and 3. 200,000 dead, down economy, unemployment, debt. Right. So this was his talking points that he had to go from. Right. Removal of mail-in ballot harvesting plus fraud, normal in-person voting, removal of tech tyranny censorship, WHO Foundation, anti-WHO, so it's like, we have the anti-WHO, suspend, terminate on a C-19 basis, removal of bailout attempts for California and New York, debt solution, they need a debt solution. Mathematical probability of C-19 event as a solution to above perfectly timed window of opportunity start, RE, impact November 3rd presidential election versus the Democrat Party. Who benefits the most? So the New York Times article here. Why did Trump strip the CDC control of C-19 data? Right, because so basically that, so that they got really what the data was, right? Bigger than you can imagine. Well, I can imagine pretty big. All right, let's go on. 4803. Fake doctrine image videos dropped here. RE Epstein cell cam. Explicit design to ban, terminate any twit users reposting. Do not take the bait. Use discrimination. Use discernment. Sorry. So that's what we were talking about earlier. So this is already the scuttlebutt. I already made it. I'm just reading these now with you. So, all right. So 4804. There's a tweet from the Justice Department. Let's see what this has to say. So the United States obtains final judgment and permanent injunction against Edward Snowden. Okay, well that's interesting enough. So final judgment, permanent injunction against Edward Snowden. So let's stop there for a moment. So we have Julian Assange and Edward Snowden. Julian Assange, not planned, not part of the deep state. Part of maybe the solution, right, might be part of Tesla plan via John Trump, maybe, just out there, So, who knows if anything like that will come about, and we'll figure that out. But interesting nonetheless. But Julian Assange was only doing what any other reporter would do: protect his source, put the information he obtained out. Just like any reporter can do. They don't get all this scrutiny. They don't have to be sequestered into the Ecuador embassy, for however many years he's been stuck there. Now they pulled him out, and now he's in the jail cell in England waiting for extradition. Now you have Snowden. So Snowden basically was a CIA guy implanted into the NSA so that he could say bad things about the NSA to get the heat off of the CIA. And that's what it was all about, right? How else could he travel and get to Russia, right? Well, on a passport that was flagged. He wouldn't have made it, right? So someone let him get away. So Julian Assange will end up, playing a very pivotal role in what's going on, because he's going to be revealing that Seth Rich was how he got the information, a DNC operative, or basically worked there, volunteer, and got a hold. He found the information, And, he was a patriot, right? And he wanted to turn Hillary over and basically show what they were doing, Russian collusion. And then what they do, they just flip it around and put it on Trump. And that's what we're going to see come about. Okay, let's go back. So no sympathy for Snowden. Okay, we've got two more left here. So 4805. How many times must it be said? Push every election. Why? Divide, we fall. Democrat Party projection. Okay, so we're talking about a YouTube video where the Democrats are projecting. What are they projecting? What are they pushing? Race, race, race. Trump's a racist. Will you denounce the white supremacists? And he says, sure. I keep doing it. And you keep asking me the same question. I keep doing it. This is a 3-minute video. What is this about?
Anyone who acted criminally in this weekend's racist violence.
Oh.
You will be held fully accountable. Justice will be delivered.
Oh, why is this playing so slow?
As I said on Saturday, we condemn in the strongest possible terms this.
I'm going to put pause for a moment. I'll let it catch up, and then we'll come back to it. I'm going to close down a couple of these other windows that are open. Now, let me quickly look over here at our chat group. Okay, it's got 25 viewers. Hello, everyone. So please make sure that you give your likes. There's 9 likes, 25 of you online. You should all be giving me a like, right? Unless you don't like it, then you can go a thumbs down. But you can all leave that go if you want. And be sure to share this video. Go down below the video in the description area where it says share. Click on that. Push pause over there. All right. Let's go back over to this one. Let's push play.
Egregious display of hatred, bigotry, and violence. It has no place in America. And as I have said many times before, no matter the color of our skin, we all live under the same laws. We all salute the same great flag. And we are all made by the same Almighty God. We must love each other, show affection for each other, and unite together in condemnation of hatred, bigotry, and violence. We must rediscover the bonds of love and loyalty that bring us together as Americans. Racism is evil, and those who cause violence in its name are criminals and thugs, including the KKK, neo-Nazis, white supremacists, and other hate groups that are repugnant to everything we hold dear as Americans. We are a nation founded on the truth that all of us are created equal. We are equal in the eyes of our Creator. We are equal under the law, and we are equal under our Constitution. Those who spread violence in the name of bigotry strike at the very core of America. 2 days ago, a young American woman, Heather Heyer, was tragically killed. Her death fills us with grief, and we send her family our thoughts, our prayers, and our love. We also mourn the 2 Virginia state troopers who died in service to their community, their commonwealth, and their country. Troopers Jay Cullen and Burke Bates exemplify the very best of America, and our hearts go out to their families, their friends, and every member of American law enforcement. These three fallen Americans embody the goodness and decency of our nation. In times such as these, America has always shown its true character, responding to hate with love, division with unity, and violence with an unwavering resolve for justice. As a candidate, I promise to restore law and order to our country, and our federal law enforcement agencies are following through on that pledge. We will spare no resource in fighting so that every American child can grow up free from violence and fear. We will defend and protect the sacred rights of all Americans, and we will work together so that every citizen in this blessed land is free to follow their dreams in their hearts and to express the love and joy in their souls.
So, doesn't seem much like a racist, does he? He's the worst racist of all. All right, so again, how many times must it be said? And he said it so many times in so many speeches and over. Why do they keep asking, right? Because that is the only thing they can go on. Pushed every election. Why? To divide. Because divided we fall. So Democrat Party con and its projection. So again, next one, 4806. So Democrat Party con, Democrat Party playbook. Who are the real racists? The world is waking up. So let's see what this one is. Well, the real racists would be who? Well, Joe Biden, right? Well, Hillary. Who are they supporting? Robert Byrd, right? The Grand Cyclops of the Ku Klux Klan was both of their mentors. All right, let's see. This is a journalist. Okay, well, this is Chris Wallace. So what is he doing here?
Ku Klux Klan. I totally disavow David Duke. I've been doing it now for 2 weeks. This is you're probably about the 18th
March 3rd,
person that's asked me the
2016.
question.
So that's a previous
it was
election
very
debate.
clear. That question was also talked about in the form of groups. I want to know which groups are you talking about? You have to tell me which groups. Ultimately, he got to the Ku Klux Klan, which obviously I'm going to disavow. And by the way, if you look on my Twitter account, almost immediately after the program, they were disavowed again. You know, it's amazing. When I do something on Twitter, everybody picks it up, goes all over the place. But when I did this one, nobody ever picks it up. Take a look at my Twitter account.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, thank you. Thanks. Senator Rubin.
Are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists and militia groups and to say that they need to stand down and not add to the violence in a number of these cities, as we saw in Kenosha and as we've seen in Portland?
Sure,
are you
I'm
prepared
willing to do that.
Yeah, I'm willing to do that. All right. Well, that takes care of our 17 Any Us posts for the day. All right. So let's bring this back around. We're 45 minutes, and so we'll start to wind this down. Well, if you have any questions, go ahead and put into the chat, and we'll talk about it. But let's just say that this election is no normal 4-year election. This is really was preparing for this next term for Trump. The completion of the draining of the swamp. Everything has been set. We know how this is going to play out, and so do they. They are freaking. Panic in D.C. I saw Nancy Pelosi, giving one of hers about the next care package and how she was just spinning a bunch of baloney. It was so hard to listen because there's no basis in reality of what they talk about. It's like it's amazing that the press is doing that, except to know that it's just a show. Both sides are scripted. All the reporters that are there in the press room, where do their questions come from? It comes off of their phones. They say, "Oh, ask this." They're they're just a suit sitting there in the or dress for the females. Some of them wear pantsuits, so they're just suits sitting there doing a job of reading stupid questions that were answered. Like you'll have 4 reporters, half the time taken up with asking the same question over and over again, and somehow trying to defend themselves of basically saying, no, we didn't. We just want you to confirm that he's not a racist. It's like, we just did. You didn't hear? No, but we need clarity. It's like, hello. So we know it's just a script that they're reading. They have no free will. They're following the plan. Whoever's giving them their talking points, they're just going to keep repeating it. So we know what that's all about. But also, as it gets closer to the election, and they know that they're going to be closed in on, that if we start seeing these guilty people start saying, okay, I did it, right? Confessions. If these confessions start rolling out on the Russia gate and the Obama gate, and on the and then you also have the pedo gates, Hollywood people starting to come forth and give their confessions, so that they get a deal. But they turn over the other people, right? When that starts happening in mass, it doesn't matter after the election. The landslide will happen. The votes will come in, and no one's going to believe them, right? They won't have any ears that will be bent by any of their snake oil talk, about what's going on. They're done, and a lot of them are going to flee the country. A lot of them are going to be, vacant. Watch for the mass exodus. Watch for that. Where are they now? Just pinpoint. Where is Hillary? Where is Obama? Where's Comey? Where's Brennan? Where's Clapper? Where's McCabe? Where are all these people? Let's start watching. Watch for, Susan Rice. Let's start watching and see, are they in the country now? Or are they, somehow off on vacation somewhere? I guess we'll see. But it's going to get heated. It's going to be, this is Red October. What's that all about? Rigged for red? That's because they're hunting. Right? And we can see the targets already landed. Look what's come out just yesterday. I don't know what's come out today. It was still a massive amount. Hillary's guilty, Obama's guilty, Hunter Biden's guilty, Joe Biden's guilty, Comey is guilty. He's played his video yesterday. Swarmy. That guy is like, I don't remember anything. It doesn't matter what facts you tell me. They're not the facts I go by. I go by my own facts that I made up. You got to go by my story. Okay. All right. I guess we're good for today. 50 minutes in, so we're good. We'll close this down. It's short. I'd like to ask you to also join LifeForce. Get the app, download it, join one of the assemblies. I'm joining a second assembly. I'm joining the San Diego assembly. I'm in the California assembly. We're going to be doing a people's show to talk about issues in California, right? So that we get people involved. So that would be like a way for us to kind of advertise, right? It's a great way. So we're doing that. We covered a lot of other topics about affidavits, and there's other things going on. Now everything in that meeting is private, right? So I'm not trying to reveal everything about what's going on there, but we are making a lot of headway. So the get into the state assembly, get into the county assemblies, do both. Just attend. Right? And then start taking actions. Gather your evidence, so you can make your affidavit. It's a personal thing. And then we're making a lot of headway. We are. So join in. With that, until tomorrow, be sure to look at the donation links down below. Look at the contact links down below. Be sure to do what you can to spread this video, subscribe and share. Be sure to share. The share link is down below the description. Or see right above that, a little arrow thing like that says share. Go to your Facebook, go to your Twitter, go to whatever way you want to share it. Get this out there. So the subscriptions are continuing to rise. So it's wonderful. It's like starting to remember the good old days when there was no shadow banning. I don't know. This is making it through. So you're sharing the video and asking others to share is getting people to subscribe. So please do subscribe. All right, that's enough for today. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.